Wake up, babe. New Epstein files dropped. We're going to go deep into the now infamous Epstein Birthday Book, from coded language and sex claims to connections with Trump, Clinton, Dershowtiz, and even alleged nods to Aleister Crowley. Nothing is off limits. We're going to uncover the drawings of children, checks for selling girls, and the darkest secrets of the elite. If you dare to open your mind wide enough, the truth behind Epstein's twisted circle is revealed. Now today is our September monthly bonus episode only for supporters. I'm going to walk you through the now infamous Epstein Birthday Book with a, of course, short statement on Charlie Kirk. I'll show you all the relevant information, coded language, not so secret claims, lots of sex, some friends' names, like a guy who was in a rock band, jokes about human trafficking, essay, murder. It's murder, claims about intelligence agencies, and so many friends showed up. Bill Clinton, Donald Trump, Alan Dershowitz, Luc-Brunel, George Nader, and much more. If you're open your mind wide enough, I think I could have found a reference to Aleister Crowley. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about these multiple strange drawings of kids and boobs and checks for selling girls, Epstein being a groomer. His perversion was well known by everyone in this circle. And we're going to talk about this Donald Trump letter and drawing of the female, which I think reveals the darkest secrets of the elites. I have a theory on it. We're going to talk about it, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk you through this entire 4-document drop. Only one is of noteworthiness. That's the first drop. That's the Epstein Birthday Book. But we're going to go through all of it. I'm going to go through all the relevant pages at least. And if you're on... and this is hundreds of pages. I think in total, the 4 drops come out to like 400, 500 pages. I'm going to pull out the sort of relevant ones. I mean, according to me, right? You can fact check. You can double check and verify for yourself if you want, by all means. These are just the ones that I found of interest. Now, if you're on the Patreon or VIP section tier 2, you get the video version of the show, as you already know. And you're going to see images. I'll pull out the screenshots of the page that I'm referring to as I speak about them. Also, another reminder for Patreon and VIP section, folks. If you're tier 3 or 4, right? Check your email. I sent an email a couple weeks ago now about the new perk at the top tiers, 3 and 4. You get your very own exclusive shirt, unavailable to anyone else. Only tier 3 members and tier 4 members. So check your email. Also, I fully realized the rapidity of the news cycle here. Okay, because the irony here is that the files dropped. I immediately started reading through them for this show, and since then we've had, alien disclosure and the assassination of one of the most famous political commentators on the planet currently, which, like I said, I'll give my short 2 cents on that as we go through this stuff. But as a plot spoiler, I didn't agree with Charlie Kirk on much of anything, but I did agree and I respected his usage of free speech. He was going around with this Turning Point USA outfit he started, debating his ideas. And that's what free speech is all about. And he was doing it the right way. He's debating his ideas. I don't agree with his stances at all, but he was doing it the right way. And obviously didn't deserve to be, murdered in front of it. I don't know if his family was there or not. They're claiming they were. Regardless, like, absolute horrific. It was one thing to hear about. It was another thing to see the video clip. I was like, bro. I mean, the gore and the violence of it is just, it makes me sick to my stomach. You know what I mean? Regardless of whether I agreed or disagreed, and that's what people don't get is, like, I can hold those 2 competing thoughts in my head. Most people can, right? I can dislike somebody, but also be like, well, damn, like, what the hell are we doing here? What is this, right? But I'll discuss that more when we get there, because that's not what this show's about. I made a new appearance as well, little housekeeping. My 6th appearance on the Higher Side Chats. Check that out. It's almost 3 hours long, by the way. With the great Greg Carlwood. It's up on his YouTube with his cool new studio and so on. So if you like it, check out the show. Tell Greg you like my appearance, and maybe he'll have me back on when I get these books finished that I'm never able to start writing because there's so much that's happening. And if you want the link to that, you can go to my appearances and interviews post. You can find that on my link tree, allmylinks.com/IsaacW. Link in the show notes as always. Okay. We're here to talk about Jeffrey Epstein and this mysterious book drop. And it starts with the 4 PDF drops that was done by the House Oversight Committees who's trying to investigate and get to the bottom of the Epstein files, right? And request number 1 is the main document. That's the Epstein Birthday Book. That's the one we're primarily going to talk about today. And I'm going to go through page by page of exactly, what I think is the most interesting parts of this, the juiciest, salaciousest bits, names, people, coded language. I think it's clear there's coded language. If you remember the pizza emails from a while back, I think they're in here, and all kinds of stuff, right? So without further ado, let's just start. Page 14 shows a mansion that is, I guess, Epstein's mansion, and it's believed that maybe this is in the background of the crayon cartoon that we saw circulating on the news of Epstein grooming girls, and then when they're children in 1983, and then him basically messing around with them when they're in 2003. We'll get to that page later, much later. Now, pages 37 through 48 is a Seagate Chronicle, which is a parody newspaper someone created for Epstein. And I read on a person named Ann Mitchell's Facebook post that this is in reference to Seagate, Brooklyn, which is where Epstein is from. And if you read through, it's just a bunch of nonsensical stories about a boy being forced to play the squeeze box and someone spraying an unknown yellow liquid into people's laundry and weird stuff like that. Pranks. And it's like strange, right? It's really weird. But, it also made me think of the infamous sort of Russian P-tape theory and all that stuff. One particular article is called Dirt Brothers Arrested, and it has some names redacted in it, which is kind of weird, right? Because this is a bunch of nonsensical parody stuff. Why did they redact names from a fake parody newspaper? And there's so many articles. It goes on and on and on. I'm like, why? Who takes the time to do all this? It's not even funny. And it's all clearly inside jokes. Again, coded language about things that, have to be sexual related based on everything else will find in this book. Like, for instance, one is called Math Teacher is Hung. All right, Epstein was a math teacher, ironically had a small egg-shaped penis, allegedly. But the story is about literally hanging a math teacher. But it's a double entendre, right, for well hung. Then there's another article called Hot Rides in the Gate, which also has names redacted. It's about some car show, and the section that's redacted in this sort of parody article refers to someone, redacted name, that had a 1970, quote, Rock Me Baby Carriage Volkswagen convertible. What are they talking about? Was that some Volkswagen variant that I'm unaware of? That's weird. In the book itself, there's a section for dining, which actually, makes me think of the pizza stuff. But there's nothing. The language isn't quite as strange as the pizza emails, where Podesta was asking for 1,000 hot dogs in a hot tub or whatever it was, or walnut sauce handkerchiefs and maps to whatever. There's also a personal section in this parody newspaper that says horny Seagate girls, also heavily redacted. There's an ad in this parody paper for Swingles, and it says, if you're wild and crazy and want it bad, you're invited to Botany Talk House if you're lucky to be selected to attend one of New York's most uninhibited orgies. Which, of course, made me think of the most iconic New York orgies of all time, depicted in Stanley Kubrick's Eyes Wide Shut, again, of the political elites, and a story that, as I've been talking about for years, coded with trafficking of children. Then we go to, now we're already on page 49. My throat is jacked up yet again today. I live in Utah, which has some of the most polluted air on the planet. We've got arsenic because the Great Salt Lake's drying up, and it's just, it's a great time right now. I can't even drink. I got a drinking problem. Okay. I'm trying to keep my whistle wet for you guys. Page 49, we've got ID cards for a couple of his friends, Warren Eisenstein and Terry Kafka. Now, if you look up, I found on MJR.news, it says that Epstein had loaned money to his childhood friend, Warren Eisenstein, to buy stocks, and that's why he was allegedly fired from Bear Stearns. But something odd, this Dr. Warren Eisenstein, who's from Seagate, Brooklyn, there's an obituary from 2014, when he died, and it says this. I don't know if it's the same one. It's got to be. But anyway, it says, well, no, I know it's the same one. Yeah, as we'll get into. It says this. Dr. Warren Eisenstein of Richardson, Texas, passed away February 27th, 2014, at the age of 61. Born April 25th, 1952, in Brooklyn, New York, parents Lenny and Rivka Eisenstein, Warren was and always will be a true New Yorker, or more specifically, a true Seagater. Warren had a passion for food, wine, travel, music, and his friends and his patients. No one could cook a meal, play the blues, or perform an eye exam like he could. Warren left Brooklyn at the age of 19 to join the rock band in Topeka that would eventually become the group Kansas. All right, that's the end of the free preview. If you want the full monthly bonus supporter episode and unlock hundreds of other episodes, as well as get early access ad-free, the works, you know where to go, you know what to do. Today's episode, we're going to go deeper into who Terry Kafka is. There's a lot of strange imagery and stories presented in this book of, Jeffrey Epstein being a murderer. They're talking about cannibalism. They're messing with the kids, of course. We're going to talk about Bill Clinton, Alan Dershowitz. There's allegations of Epstein being Jack the Ripper. I mean, it's crazy stuff. This guy named George Nader plugs into all the stuff that 7 Seas had been talking to us about funneling money through Colson Capital via Blackwater. There's stuff about a guy named Bill Elkis. I mean, this just goes on and on and on. And you're like, bro, who are all these people? And then, of course, the story of some weird check that Donald Trump wrote to pay for a fully depreciated woman to Epstein is in here, as well as we talk about the letter heard around the world of Donald Trump drawing the female figure with the breast of a girl and signing his name where her pubic hair would be. We talk about all that stuff. It gets, of course, dark. And then there's some connections to possibly Aleister Crowley. Is it a stretch? A little bit, but I mean, it's not too much of a stretch when we talk about all the alien references that we find in this birthday book. The big, beautiful birthday book. But yeah, that's it's a lot. It's a lot to get through today. So if you want to go and support the show, you'll unlock the full episode. You can go to patreon.com/Illuminati Watcher. That's the most popular. It's the one I recommend to everybody. There's a live chat. You can get in the chat. We can talk about whatever's going on in the world. And you get all the things. You can also do Apple Premium to unlock all the bonus episodes. That's the easiest one. There's no community vibe, but you just mash the button and you're in. Or if you want to save a few bucks, IlluminatiWatcher.com. Go up top to the menu, hit the VIP thing. You can compare all the platforms there and get in for the cheapest. If you can copy and paste an RSS feed, the VIP section might be for you. But again, no community vibe. But that's okay. Some of you guys are lone wolves. You don't want that. But yeah, Patreon's the one I recommend the most. Check it out if you want to support the show. All right, thanks for your support. Till next time, stay positive.
Well, let me tell you something, brother. I've told you that if you want to be like the Hulkster, you got to get your prayers, training, and vitamins. Be sure to take a lot of vitamins. I mean a lot of vitamins, brother. But now I got something else for you. Ooh, yeah. You're listening to the free feed, which means 2 things. You're missing out on bonus episodes, and you're listening to all those annoying commercials. Well, I got a solution, brother. You can support the podcast by signing up for one of the supporter feeds, where you can get Isaac's most popular books, The Dark Path and Kubrick's Code, for free, brother. You'll also get bonus episodes every month that the free feed losers never get to hear. You've got a few options, brother, like patreon.com/Illuminati Watcher or the IlluminatiWatcher.com VIP section. Dig it? Ooh, you can hit the links in the show notes, or just go to IlluminatiWatcher.com and hit the tab that says VIP and read about the ways you can unlock all the goods before it's too late. Yeah, brother, what you gonna do when the Illuminati run wild on you?